we got to put a bow on the regular season with the most loaded ever edition of Plays of the Week. I didn't even ask if you're ready, because if you're not,
I'm ready,
sorry,
baby.
I'm leaving you in the rearview mirror. We got to get to this quickly. Let's start with Franklin Regional. And although the Panthers lost to Penn Trafford on Friday, FR made a big special teams play early that got the crowd absolutely rocking in Murraysville as Jack Silvis produced a block punt, as detailed by Jonathan Whaley.
Punter standing back at about the 15-yard line, and that's blocked. And he picked that one up. He does. He'll have it to 10, to 5, and the touchdown. Yes, 16-yard touchdown on the block for Franklin Regional. That's number 36, Jack Silvis, on the return for the touchdown. It looked to be about a 16-yard return on the block punt. And the Franklin Regional crowd has a lot to be excited about with the extra point coming up. Let's take another look at it here. And he got the ball. The punter seemed to take his time, and then he blocked the punt. And then he will hustle over and pick that football up at about the 16-yard line. You see him go down that right side.
What a play by Jack Silvis. And Sean, typically the team that gets a special teams touchdown usually wins the game. It didn't happen. Penn Trafford was able to come back in a big way and respond to that. But man, that was a massive start for Franklin Regional. Unfortunately, the Panthers just couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, and the reaction there, that was electric. I would have loved to have seen the environment throughout that entire night. We saw a good one at Bell Vernon, but man, Franklin Regional and PT is always special.
Kelly was producing and said she's never heard it that loud there. Like, she could barely hear Jonathan, and you know it must be loud if you can't hear Jonathan.
I was going to say, that's got to be something else for that to be the case. Well, we'll stay in the same game for Plays of the Week. We'll look at it from the Penn Trafford side, and the Warriors ultimately pulled off that victory. And it was a big play in the first half that really keyed the win as Johnny Louver hooked up with Jack Weissar on a touchdown pass that gave PT the lead, heading into the locker room with, once again, JW on the call.
2nd and 7, 45 seconds and ticking. And they fake the swing pass out to the right. They got the balls up in the air in the end zone. Does he catch it? Yes! Touchdown! Making that touchdown catch from the 17-yard line is number 12 for Penn Trafford, and that is Jack Weissar that'll make that catch. And here they faked it like they want to go throw the ball to Grabowski. Two defenders bit on that play. It was single coverage in the end zone, and nicely done, making that catch.
Well, you talk about momentum. The block punt was big. This was big right before half. And again, another nice pass by Johnny Louver. We talked about Penn Trafford's passing game needing to develop and maybe hitting the right stride at the right time for Johnny right now.
Yeah, and the pump fake, the defense fought on that one, so they bid on that one, I should say. Really nice play there. Good design by John Rowan, and he got the execution he wanted that keyed that victory for Penn Trafford. We'll continue Plays of the Week with Ligonier Valley, and it was a rough season for the Rams, but John Jablonowski was frequently a bright spot in the campaign. That was the case at Derry as well. He took the first offensive play the distance with John Flickinger and Bob Lisinski commentating that action.
With your best foot forward heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to go in with the win and have an even 500 record.
Schreier's the quarterback, and here comes Jablonowski, and Jablonowski on the first play is into the secondary and gone for a touchdown. One play, he's back, and he goes 75 yards for the score, and Ligonier Valley leads it 6-0, and the nightmares that Coach Molnar had last night have come true on play number 1, running that misdirection with the wing T offense, and Jablonowski scores, and he's back. Welcome back, Mr. Jablonowski.
Yeah, nobody touched him. I mean, he just got through the hole there, and I think he's hurt. He sure didn't show it on that run. 75 yards, untouched, and just like the game last year.
We got to give it up to Ligonier Valley, Sean. They throw the first punch, and that was so important. I remember looking at the scores when they were coming in right at the beginning there and seeing Ligonier Valley right off the hops up. I believe it was 8-0, correct, with the 2-point conversion. Either way, they got the opening touchdown of the game, and you're thinking, Ligonier Valley's here to play. Fortunately for the Trojans, they were able to get a big response and end up winning the game. But John Jablonowski just continuing a great season and caps it off with a really good game against the Trojans.
I remember last year, Sean Lyotta, the head coach of Burl, said he's got legitimate track speed, and man, you saw it on a play like that. He has a burst that very, very few, outside of maybe Quentin Martin, can match in all of the WPIAL. Well, we continue plays of the week. Once again on the other sideline with Derry area, it was the Trojans who ultimately controlled play for most of the night in that game. And Nate Barkley put the cap on the win as he took advantage of a very fortunate bounce on for a defensive score, with John and Bob providing the audio.
I'm waiting for a football. Let's see if one of them can get it up to me here. Schreier's pass, almost. It is intercepted and headed down the sideline is Barkley. Nate Barkley, one man to beat, and he's going to take it to the house for 6.
So I said before, a ball's tipped up in the air, bad things happen, and Barkley in the right spot at the right time. Looks like about maybe 75, 80 yards on that return.
That is the third pick 6 for the Trojans this season.
You know, Ahmad Ward has been tremendous all season long, certainly for Derry, and that's an understatement. It was great to see other guys in this game step up. Nate Barkley, 2 touchdowns on offense, and then that touchdown on defense. If they want to be successful in the playoffs, they need other guys to do what he did, and that was tremendous. Nathan Doherty also made some plays in the game, and many others for Derry. So, again, if they want to continue what they think they can do in the playoffs, they got to get other guys to step up. That was big.
The fact that he caught that off of those crazy bounces was just incredible. Some of it good fortune, but obviously he did his part as well. We continue plays of the week with Bell Vernon area, and Quentin Martin seems to save his best for the big games, and he delivered in a big way in Friday's win against Elizabeth Forward. He showed his chops as a receiver on a long score in the second quarter, putting the Leopards ahead by a couple of scores, with myself and John Bainbridge on the call. 3rd and 7. They have a receiver split wide each way. Locks over the middle, passes complete to Martin, and he's got a chance to take it the distance. There goes Q. They won't catch him. Quentin Martin goes 84 yards.
And again, one-on-one coverage. That's a tough assignment. I don't care who the defensive back is there for Elizabeth Forward. I think you got to get some underneath coverage maybe, and sort of I think you got to double team. You can't go one-on-one with the whole field there.
When you see where Nickett is set up, the deep man, he had no chance once that ball was thrown to Martin to get in the play, and then it's hard for anyone to catch Quentin Martin. There's a reason why he is the top-ranked player in the entire state. What an incredible play, and I know EF, of course, you're doing your best to try to slow down the entire offense, but Martin one-on-one coverage without safety help, I don't think that they'll ever do that again.
And if you want to see the most obvious pass interference penalty you will ever see, go back and watch the game. It was unbelievable. One-on-one, nobody behind the safety or defensive.
Yeah, I think it was Isaiah Turner. Yep.
Yeah. For Elizabeth Forward, and he just decided to tackle Q, and I think that was actually a smart play. But the ball was up in the air for so long, and he was just like, and he just tackled him.
Yeah, there's, honest to goodness, there's a real thought for me, at least, that Martin could be a #1 receiver collegiately if they wanted to go that route with him. He is just so special, any single position you put him at. Well, speaking of special, we continue plays of the week with Norwin, and it was a special and a record-setting night at Norwin for both Tristan Tavares and Luke Denny, as the two connected on a long TD in the fourth quarter against Hempfield area to establish their names in Knight's history, with Dave Franzek and Brian Brzezinski painting the picture.
Tavares looks to throw. He's going to go deep for Denny, and he does have him. He's got it. See you later, Luke Denny. He gets out of the tackle to the 10-5, and the record-setting goes for a touchdown. And let's cap it off with a flag, too.
That might be a double record. I think Luke Denny just broke the record.
No, he tied it. He tied the single-game touchdown record of 6.
No, but I mean the record for most flags.
Yeah.
And Luke Denny gets the record for single season receiving yards. And what a good play to do it on, right? They run a switch, and Pond sets it up with a good pick. He's one-on-one there with the safety. Tristan throws a nice ball, and utilizing his speed, he's able to go ahead and not only make the catch, but outrun the defenders to the pylon and get in there for that touchdown.
Heck of a night for the senior.
Well, we mentioned before, even though they don't make the playoffs, the Knights have a lot to build upon, and certainly Tristan Tavares, just a sophomore, a major part of that. But for Denny as well, he has missed a lot of time. He had to battle through some obstacles and adversity earlier in his career, but he put together an incredible season. And if nothing else, Norman was a fun team to watch if you like offense this year.
Absolutely, and they're only going to get better next year. And by the way, shout out to Tristan's dad. He's a big fan of Westmoreland on the Gridiron.
Absolutely. Love to have he and everyone else that tunes in each and every week. We continue plays of the week. Well, this is pretty cool because we've got 2 more plays remaining, but there's something significant about it. This is Southmoreland, and it was the Scotties who were just completely dominant against Mount Pleasant on Friday, and it was Dejon Craigett who was a big reason why. The senior set a single-game rushing record, including a touchdown that spanned almost the entire length of the field, with TJ DeStefano and Roger Downs setting the stage.
So a penalty there for Southmoreland that takes them back 5 on the false start.
Play clock's winding down yet again.
Yep. And this is going to be Craigett off the right side. Craigett still on his feet. Look out. 30, 40. He's up into territory up the far side. Oh, and he stays in bounds at the 30. And he is going to go for a touchdown. From the 8. That's a 92-yard touchdown. There are no flags on the field. Wow. So he has an 80-yard touchdown, Roger, and now 92.
Wow. It is the Dejon Craigett show. And I would think that Seton Hill University head football coach Dan Day would probably like the Craigett brothers together in the backfield there for the Griffins.
That was incredible from the senior for the Scotties. Remember, he came by way of transfer, was at GCC, and then transferred to Guyville, co-op to Southmoreland.
All over the place, yeah.
I wonder where they would be without him, but thankfully Tim Bukowski doesn't have to wonder that because Craigett has been just incredible this season, and I think maybe as good as he was at the beginning of the season, he saved his best for that rivalry showdown. So he was incredible. Now, make a mental image of that touchdown run, okay? You're seeing 90-plus yards down the far sideline.
I got it.
All right. We wrap up plays of the week with Seton Hill. And the Griffins won their 2nd game in a row last Saturday. They defeated Edinburgh at Offutt Field. But this play seems eerily similar to the previous because it was the same last name on the run. This time it was the Griffins' Kyron Craigett who makes a house call in the 3rd quarter with myself and Roger providing the commentary. 3rd and 3. Craigett, and he's got the first down. He's got a lot more down the sidelines. Can they catch him? Craigett's still going. 86-yard touchdown.
Kyron Craigett. TJ DeStefano and myself, we saw that last night from his little brother. Some very long touchdown runs, but now the Griffin faithful have a little bit more to smile about. However, a long way to go in half number 2.
Big brother was able to outrun them all, including Jeanette's Toby Klein, who was in pursuit but could not catch up. 86-yard house call.
That looked oddly similar, Sean. Are those guys related, those Craigetts?
It turns out that they are. Yes.
Knew it.
That's, we have seen a lot of Kyron this year. I have not seen Dejon in person, obviously, other than when we went to training camp. But man, it's crazy how those two have almost identical touchdown runs. What would have been, like 16 hours apart, something like that?
Yeah.
Back to back
and
days.
I think Dejon was actually at the game watching it.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was himself for a second.
Right. Look in the mirror.
Really, just cool stuff.
Yeah.
And great to see both at the high school and college level them making a name for themselves here in Westmoreland County. That'll do it for Plays of the Week.